Welcome to day 4 of the Re-Energized Challenge. I hope you're feeling re-energized already. We're only 4 days in, we have 6 days left. I definitely feel a difference and I feel much more energy. So we're continuing with everything we've been doing, right? We're doing our 20-minute yoga practice with our breath work, drinking our dandelion tea, and today we're going to talk about an energized mindset. So, mindset, if you're newer to mindset or you've heard it but you don't really know what it means, it's basically the way that we think about things. There are two main different types of mindset. We have a fixed mindset where we're like, I just don't have much energy. This is just how I am. There's no way to fix it really. Like, this is just me. The growth mindset is like, I have been feeling kind of stagnant and heavy, but I think that I can have more energy. And you can apply that to anything. I think I can learn Spanish. I think I can grow, basically, and be different and change. So we are always aligning with the growth mindset because we can grow, we can evolve, we can change. And in order to take any new action, even to do your yoga practice, to drink your teas, to do the things, we have to have the mindset first because every action we take starts in our mind. It starts with a thought, okay? So I'm going to take you through a process. The first thing that I want you to do is to pause me and to empty out your brain. If you are on our email list receiving the emails, you have an email list of all these questions that you can print out a worksheet and fill it out. So first you're going to clean out your brain, which basically means you're just going to take a few minutes to fill out that sheet or one sheet of paper or until you have no more thoughts. And this is the uncensored opportunity to just write down anything that's on your mind. Now, you may have all kinds of different thoughts. It's okay. You can throw this away when you're done so that no one sees it. But we're just going to spring clean the brain, thinking of getting the stagnancy, the heaviness out, and writing it down. Don't think about it too much or trying to get it right. Just get your thoughts out of your head and onto paper. Okay? Once you've done that, we're going to go into step 2. You're going to write down what you want to believe. So the focus of this challenge is really to have more energy and more vitality. So maybe you want to believe something like, I am energized, or even to believe I can have energy. Okay, so write down what it is that you want to believe. I can have energy. I can be energized. I can be motivated. I can want to live today. I can want to get out of bed. I can want to go to work. Okay, once you've written that down, you're going to write down how you feel and what you think when you think that now. So if you want to believe that you're energized, but you're not feeling energized, right? You're probably going to have a lot of thoughts about it. Like, yeah, that would be nice, right? That would be nice to feel energized, but I don't feel energized. Or I haven't felt energized in a month. So how can I feel energized now? So pause me and write down the thoughts that come to your mind and the feeling when you think that now. Okay, now that you've done that, I want to just give you a few more ideas of what happens generally. So maybe the thought is, I want to feel motivated. I want to believe that I can be motivated in life again, to like be excited about life, to have that kind of energy. And you may have had some other thoughts of like, well, you've done everything you want to do in life. You don't feel motivated. Like, haha, that's funny to even think you could be motivated. Or you might feel hopeless or helpless. Okay, so all of that's normal, because you are right now trying to believe something different. And believing something means that whatever a thought is, you think it's true. It just means that you think it's true. That's what belief is. So if you want to believe that you are energized, that's wanting to think it's true. But right now, in the past week or whatever, you haven't felt that way, or the past season, the past month. Okay? So what we do in order to believe the new thing, to create a mindset where we believe it's true, that we have unlimited potential, we can do whatever we want, but to really believe that, we need to start taking new actions. This is going to give us new results, which then is going to show our brain, oh, look, that is actually true. You can create that. But we need to get through that internal dissonance first. So that's why we don't just avoid it. We don't just try to like positive think, because if you've tried that, you know it doesn't work. So we want to acknowledge the thoughts that come up of like, well, you haven't been motivated for a month. What makes you think you could be motivated now? Or you're too fat and lazy and you overeat too much to be like, this is how we talk to ourselves, right? You can't be motivated. So we want to acknowledge that. We want to say, okay, we hear you, we see you, we acknowledge you, and then we want to answer it because our brain is trying to solve a problem, right? Our brain is a problem solver. So when you're telling it, hey, you can believe this new thing, it's like, wait a minute, you can't believe that because of this. And then you're like, wait a minute, we can because of this. So that's where we are right now. We're in step 4. Answer conflicting thoughts with alternative thoughts. So if the thought that came to your mind when you're like, okay, I'm energized, was what makes you think you can be energized now? You haven't been energized the past month or the past year or the past decade. We're going to answer that intentionally with our prefrontal cortex instead of the reptilian part of the brain, okay? And we're going to say, well, I can be energized because what I did last year doesn't mean it's who I am now. I can change. Or you can't go to yoga and feel energized because you're too overweight. You could answer that and say, like, what if I could be overweight and energized? What if I could do that? So you're just going to answer whatever that conflicting thought was that came to your mind when you were trying to think that new thought of I'm energized, or I can have energy to do what I want, I can be motivated, whatever it was. The thoughts that come into conflict, you're going to answer it with an alternative thought. You're going to solve the problem, okay? Pause me and do that. And then we're going to take massive action to counter, okay? This is, all the steps are important, but this cannot be like, you can't overpass it. You cannot go straight to thinking you're going to get the results. You have to take the action. So once you counter it and you say, okay, my brain says I haven't done anything to be motivated in the past year, and I tell it, well, I don't need to live based on my past. I can do something for the future. So what is my massive action going to be? My massive action to counter that is to get up and do yoga today, or to get up and go to the gym right now today. Okay, so you're going to do an action, massive action for each one of those thoughts that you countered. Now, why is this so important? Because it's going to show you're going to take different action, and then it's going to reinforce to your brain that you can believe this new thing because it's showing up in the world. Instead of just thinking it, you're actually doing it. So then you do it today, you do it tomorrow, you do it the next day, and then you really start believing it effortlessly because you're like, see, I am energized. I went to the gym, I did this, I moved my body in a more energized way. I talked quicker instead of being like, hey, yeah, it's going okay, right? Like we start to give evidence that I am energized or I am motivated. So this action's very important. Once you've done that, you're going to go to step number 5. You're going to write a note to yourself from your future self who is already living this new belief, okay? And you're going to say, what would you say to you today? So when you envision yourself, your future self, it can be however far into the future, that doesn't matter. But the future you who is, let's say, energized and motivated, what is she or he saying to me today? Right? Because my future self is already there. My future self is already energized, is already motivated. So, what do they say to me today? What is the message they want me to hear? Pause me and write that down. Now, what you find most of the times is something along the lines of like everything's okay, like it's all going to work out. Like we get to this point where it's effortless, so you can do it. Go ahead. You're doing it for me. You're doing it to be the energized version of you. Okay? So this is, in terms of feeling energized, because we're re energizing ourselves, you can, of course, apply this to any other part of your life, like anything that you want to believe, any new thing. When you have a self-image of yourself, self-image is how you view yourself, right? As being the person that you want to be, then you start taking those actions to actually be that person. So apply this in your workbook. You also have your daily check off if you are on the email list to check off your daily planner for all of these things to feel more energized. This works. So apply it. Let me know how it's going, and I will see you tomorrow on day 5.